Hello, I'm Rex Lita with the Midday News. On Monday, 20th, in a sudden turn of events, Mount Ulawun's eruption prompts a stage 3 alert in West New Britain, especially impacting the West Nakanai area. The Regional Executive Council of the United States in the East New Britain region, currently session at now, faces disruptions as volcanic ash clouds envelop the region today. Today, the sudden intensifies as delegates from the Regional Executive Council evaluate the crisis. Today, 2 executives have been evacuated from the now, with others preparing to depart for Abao on speedboats. A report from the Department of Mineral Policy and Geohazard Management states that originally the ash plume was blowing towards the west and northwest, with ashfall affecting the Navo area. However, it was now shifted direction, impacting the Ulawun mission area due to a change in wind direction. Communities in these areas are experiencing moderate to high exposure to ashfall. Local government authorities says all flights into and out of Hoskins have been cancelled. 488 grade 12 students from 8 streams graduated at the Bugandi Secondary School in Ley on Friday, November 17th. Deputy Prime Minister and member for Ley, John Rosso, congratulated them and encouraged them to say thank you to their parents, guardians and teachers. The 28th graduation ceremony was observed with the team dreams achieved through perseverance. It was fitting and spoke not only to this specific event, but in life as well. DPM Rosso acknowledged the long and hard road that the students had walked on and encouraged them to appreciate those who stood by them.
Some personal challenges that sit here before me today. So you should also say thank you. It's within you here. So thank you, Lord. Papa, Mama, blipla, all guardians, blipla, all country, all clansmen, we're buying school fee, all line look at you, your teachers, your principals, your board. So find a little time today in your heart to say thank you. Say, we buy the big plan, all Papa, Mama, guardian, country, one and all walk in. You are picking in now, sit down before me today. It's a personal struggle, and I can appreciate that from a lot of parents who sit here.
In a heartwarming celebration, 11 Deloitte PNG volunteers, parts of organization's gold sponsorship, with Book Bilang Pikinini, actively participated in Universal Children's Day across BP's Library Learning Center in Papua New Guinea. The event focused on educating children about their rights, featured engaging activities, and advocacy for key rights. Deloitte's volunteers, including Natasha Swain and Shelley Lakani, brought joy with face painting and refreshments. The collaboration not only showcased Deloitte's commitment to BP's financial audits, but also emphasized the importance of supporting, caring for, and educating every child on this significant day. In regional news, pro-Palestinian protesters took to the streets outside New South Wales Premier's electorate office in Sydney South on Monday, accusing him of standing with Israel.
More than 100 pro-Palestinian supporters gathered outside the Premier's electorate office at Kogarah in Sydney South yesterday afternoon, and this is the first time that they have protested there. Some of the crowds held up signs of Chris Minns with paint over his face, while others stood on the back of a ute with megaphones accusing the Premier of siding with Israel. Police say that there were no arrests and no incidents of note, and so far the Premier's office has declined to comment. But this comes after earlier yesterday the Premier said that police would be using special powers to block pro-Palestinian convoys from driving through Sydney's eastern suburbs, where there is a high Jewish population. And this is a move that some human rights groups have labelled as an overreach. In recent weeks, at least 3 car and motorbike convoys have taken to the streets of Sydney, and the ABC understands that police would first negotiate with convoy organisers to make sure that their route doesn't go through sensitive areas, but that they also have these public disorder powers at their disposal. This is a little bit of what Premier Chris Minns had to say yesterday.
I'll make this clear. Protests are legal in New South Wales. Of course, they'll be allowed by New South Wales Police and the government, but we've got a responsibility both to public safety and also to community cohesion and harmony. And if there was, for example, a big convoy of supporters of Israel that attempted to go down Halden Street in Lakemba, we'd make exactly the same decision. We've got to think clearly about the next steps and ensuring we keep our community and our city as harmonious and cohesive as we possibly can.
The state government has also brought forward the first full meeting of the Faith Affairs Council, which is a body they set up in September, and the Premier will be attending this meeting and asking faith and community leaders to come up with an interfaith resolution, and that meeting could happen as early as this week.
A major upgrade to the methane gas capture facility at Canberra's main tip is promising a win-win for the environment and power grid. More than a third of ACT household rubbish is food waste, which goes to landfills and contributes to greenhouse gas emissions.
Powering ahead with a plan to turn more of Canberra's trash into treasure.
We've been working with LGI now for some time, since 2019 when we signed a 15-year contract to capture the gas coming off the Mugger Lane landfill and turn it into electricity.
Methane, which is 28 times more potent than carbon dioxide as a greenhouse gas, is produced when organic material like food scraps and timber break down without oxygen. The LGI system sucks some of that gas at the Mugger Lane site into pipes embedded in the landfill and carries it to generators where it's converted into electricity. But the amount of gas recovered is more than the 4 original generators could manage, so the surplus is burned off as less harmful carbon dioxide.
Since 2020, when we commenced operations down there, we've been able to more than double the biogas that we recover from the facility.
That's 89 million cubic metres of biogas captured and 100 gigawatt hours of renewable energy generated, or enough to power around 5,700 homes a year. Now, LGI has promised at least $13 million worth of upgrades, adding 2 more generators, 12 megawatts of battery storage and expanding the connection to the grid.
We can now power around 10,800 homes and generate 50,000 megawatt hours of electricity every year.
The government says it's still committed to stopping organic waste going to landfill in the first place, but that's not a complete solution.
The organic material that's currently in the landfill will likely continue to produce methane for decades to come.
The expansion's due to be finished by the end of 2025.
To sports news now. On Monday, the third day of the Solomon Islands 2023 Pacific Games, volleyball tournament at Honiara's Friendship Hall saw intense competition in both men's and women's matches as medal contenders began to emerge. In the women's tournament, Fiji secured a notable 3-1 victory over Samoa, despite not picking up a medal at Samoa 2019. Fiji promising performances at the Solomon Islands 2023 hint at their podium potential. Defending women's volleyball gold medalist, New Caledonia demonstrated their dominance, once again defeating Tuvalu 3-0, while 2019 silver medalist Tahiti breezed past PNG 3-0. The day's final match in the women's tournament saw American Samoa defeat Solomon Islands 3-0. All volleyball matches continue today. Papua New Guinea have qualified for the soccer knockout stages of the women's tournament at the Solomon Islands 2023 Pacific Games, following a 3-0 win over Cook Islands on Monday. PNG captain Ramona Padia scored twice the first half, while Makelin Butubu scored a third goal in the 80th minute, securing PNG's spot in the knockout stage. PNG's assistant coach Eric Comeng says it is not going to be easy for the team and there are some tough games ahead. PNG will face New Caledonia in their final pool clash at 7 p.m. on Thursday at SIF Academy before heading into the knockout matches next week. The first day of the Solomon Islands 2023 Pacific Game Rugby League 9's competition on Monday saw shock defeats of both the women's and men's reigning champions in the Honiaras National Stadium. Fiji, who claimed gold in both events last time out at Samoa 2019, suffered surprise losses, Fiji women to debutants Tonga and Fiji men to Samoa. In the men's competition, round 2 saw 2 more exciting men's matches. Samoa beat reigning champions Fiji and Solomon Islands nearly defeated Tonga. In an enthralling showdown between Fiji and Samoa, Fiji led 12-8 lead at halftime, but the tide turned in the second half as Samoa came back with 2 more tries to secure one of the upsets of the tournament, winning 18-12. The action resumes at 3 p.m. this afternoon, the National Stadium, for more pool matches followed by semi-finals and medal contests on Wednesday. That's the news update. Join us at 6 for more.